I get the question all the time, why are you a men's rights advocate as a woman, right? That's just weird. Why wouldn't I? If I see something wrong and I can help put it right, why wouldn't I do that? Do you ask male feminists, why do you care about women? Why are you asking a woman, why do you care about men?
At the International Conference for Men's Issues. This conference covers a wide range of things, from circumcision of boys to violence against boys and men. Now, this year's conference is being organized by a group of women. So I'm here to ask these women why they care about men's rights.
Welcome to the International Conference on Men's Issues 2019. Why men's issues? Men, like women, face issues of discrimination, prejudice, and negative stereotypes. We are all, I guess you could say, terrible, horrible, no good, really bad men's rights activists.
The men's rights movement began and grew in the 60s and 70s, but the movement exploded once gatherings could happen online. The Red Pill Subreddit is a home for men's rights meetings on the internet. It has over 400,000 subscribers and a very engaged user base.
It's a movement that draws attention to areas in which men are discriminated against.
To understand how we got to a men's rights conference in Chicago, we have to go back to the start of Honey Badger Radio, a radio founded by a group of women who all support men's rights.
Allegations of sexual assault are swarming like killer bees.
Women are generally more sensitive to things like discomfort.
I was one of the 3 founding members, and it was originally intended to be a sort of an all-female podcast talking about men's issues.
Honey Badger Radio has 9 consistent hosts. They're entirely funded by user donations. Karen is one of the founding members of the Honey Badger Radio. Women like Karen who are Honey Badger hosts are like celebrities within this community.
Hi. Good to see you. I sent you $100.
Oh, wow, that was you. Thank you so much.
Do you get a lot of people coming up to you, recognizing you and reading your work?
Finally, it's a pleasure to actually see you in person.
There you go.
I wish we could get more feminists to these things.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Because I think viewpoint diversity is important. I think there's no reason for feminists to be scared of being yelled at or anything like that.
I chose my username online, Girl Writes What, because I used to write dirty books for women. Somebody posted a link to a men's website, and it was just like a blog post on this website, and said, let's all go make fun of these guys. And I was like, these are actually people I can talk to. And then I went and I looked at the other articles on the site, and so much of it just kind of dovetailed with my own observations. This undercurrent of animosity between men and women in the culture. When I stumbled across the men's movement, I think I sort of saw it coming.
But some of the panelists didn't have as measured of a view on men's rights.
We had a recent situation. We got so damn tired of people making false allegations against our members, we finally took one to court. And Mark Angeli's going to talk more about it this afternoon, but we kicked her ass.
Oh, beautiful.
America really isn't racist, at least not, culturally traditional, white America as people think of, American culture.
Me too. Just accuse and then crucify you. Due process. Due process is coming for you. Instead of due process, the process you'll get can best be described as doo-doo.
Karen would argue that it's ironic how much press the Honey Badgers get when their goal is to center men's voices. So I spoke with Paul Elam, who's considered the unofficial founder of the men's rights movement. We know that the pay gap exists. We know that women are overwhelmingly more likely to be assaulted in their lifetime than men and boys. So I'm wondering how do you respond to those facts?
There is an earnings gap. As you get into the study, you find when they factor away for education, for experience, for time spent on the job, that the pay gap disappears. Men are overwhelmingly assaulted more than women.
Paul was highly criticized for an article that many said supported violence against women. Has that been a concern to you, that some of the violent sort of what you would call satire might actually be inciting violence?
No, not from me. When they hear me being somewhat hyperbolic and offensive, for lack of a better word, they're not thinking, oh, I wish he would make this more palatable for good, decent folk. They're thinking, finally, somebody's saying it.
We're talking about, guilty, presumed guilty.
It's the Me Too movement's there's the unfortunate side effects. Let's put it that way.
So I just went to the panel on sexual assault allegations and specifically false accusations of assault and rape, and I noticed that this panel had the highest number of attendees asking questions to the panelists afterwards. And I find this really interesting because we know that statistically false accusations are extremely rare, being anywhere from 2 to 10%.
I was wrongly convicted of a crime and sentenced to prison, so that I lost everything in my life.
I'm curious about why there seems to be such a focus on false accusations here at this conference, and how there's such a high number of men here who feel that they have been falsely accused, when we know statistically that that's very unlikely. False allegations were a big focus of the conference. This was apparent when I spoke with Harry Crouch. He's the president of the National Coalition for Men, and he's so revered here that fans kept coming up to him at the conference and donating to his cause.
We don't defend sexual assault. We think it's horrific. It happens to men, and I'm a rape victim. But when you have definitions that leave no leeway for anything, if it takes 30 seconds too long, minute, 30 seconds, minute and a half, I don't care. And you're willing to destroy somebody's life for a minor infraction, perhaps. That's horrific. That's just as wrong as this forcible rape over here.
Eve Ensler famously said, we need to help liberate women because 1 in 3 women will be physically or sexually assaulted in her lifetime. I think if you actually really surveyed men, physical or sexual assault, 1 in 1.
The Honey Badgers often make jokes about assault on their YouTube channel, which they're called out for frequently online.
How do we start? We go here first? Go here?
I've been sexually assaulted. Allison's been sexually assaulted. Hannah has been sexually assaulted. Like a lot of us have been sexually assaulted. There are dark things out there. There are horrible things that happen to people. But it can be useful if I'm crying. It can be useful if I'm laughing, right? Oh yeah, sure. No, God, stay away. No, it'll make it worse. I'm sorry, I appreciate the offer.
Guy at the bar earlier today, I was ordering a drink and he said, Karen, I just wanted to thank you for saving my life 2 years ago. Right? And I was like, oh.
I think the current system shames men for not emoting and then shames them when they do. So it's like, you need to open up. You need to tell me how you feel. And then the guy really opens up and says how he feels and they say,
Men, you need to express your emotions more, all of that. And then the moment men do, out come the male tears coffee mugs.
I was first exposed to the men's rights movement through YouTube videos, and particularly Karen Straughan's YouTube videos. I had depression for about 20 years, and at one point I had a psychotic episode, and I ended up committing a property crime that got me incarcerated. I realized that there were probably, 1,000 points of intervention that could have taken place. After I got out, I encountered the men's rights movement and a lot of their arguments, and it contextualized my experience in a way that allowed me to sort of heal from a lot of traumas that I experienced in my life. I saw a huge potential for this movement to basically rescue young men in situations like mine. And I co-founded a small men's rights group in Denver, and our focus was on mental health. We had monthly, kind of share sessions that we facilitated at a local library and stuff like that.
The rate of suicide in the US is highest in middle-aged white men. The honey badgers often cite these statistics to prove that we're living in what they would call a gynocentric age.
This particular conference has had the most media presence of any of these conferences so far.
That is...
Maybe it's because of the novelty of a woman organizing the conference. I don't know. Which would kind of put the kibosh on the whole idea of, how women are marginalized, wouldn't it? If this conference about men is getting so much more attention, and much more positive attention, I'll give you that, than the previous ones that were organized by men, maybe that's a female privilege.
Karen, did you meet anyone there that you weren't sure if you were gonna like, and then you turn out that you did, or whatever?
I mean, I guess the one person that I'm not sure that I like, I kind of like her and I got along with her, is the journalist from Bloomberg, right? Because like I don't quite know what to make of her. I don't have a feeling one way or the other in terms of, how she's going to portray the event. And I did spend a lot of time with her, and I still haven't got a solid feeling as to how she's going to portray me or the event.